$300 in cash. You got that, boy? Or is your kind too dumb to count? Sergeant Harlan Voss crowds the black street vendor's cart, his badge gleaming, cheap cologne mixing with the sharp scent of grilled onions. I understand, sir. I just started not long ago. Shut your mouth. Voss jabs a finger in his face. This permit is toilet paper. One phone call, and your black ass is in cuffs. One call to ICE, and they'll find something wrong. They always do with people like you. The vendor's dark hands stay steady. He counts out the bills and offers them in silence. Voss snatches the cash, then delivers a hard, patronizing pat to the man's cheek, the sting sharp and humiliating. Good boy. Maybe you can be trained after all. He strolls to his cruiser without looking back. Beneath the apron, a tiny red light blinks, still recording. Sergeant Harlan Voss has just extorted an undercover federal marshal. He has no idea. Downtown Hartfield, Texas, is still waking up when Darius Holloway wheels his hot dog cart to the corner of Main and Fifth. The wheels clack against cracked pavement as summer haze rises from the asphalt, promising another brutal day of heat. Darius is black, 38 years old, with broad shoulders and calloused hands that speak of physical labor. Army veteran. That is what his story says. Recently divorced, starting over with nothing but a cart and a dream. That is the cover anyway. He lifts the stainless steel lid to check the water level. Steam rises into his face. Mustard, relish, and ketchup line up in a row, napkins stacked, everything in its place just like he was trained. 4 other vendors share this stretch of sidewalk. They have been here longer. They know things Darius is still learning. Rosa Delgado sets up her taco cart 30 feet south. 62 years old, Mexican-American, silver hair, pulled back tight. 11 years on this corner. She walks over with 2 cups of coffee and hands one to Darius without asking. You're the new one, she says, her accent soft and warm. Be careful around here. Darius takes the cup. Careful of what? Rosa's dark eyes shift toward the street. A patrol car rolls past, slow and deliberate, like a shark circling. She watches it until it disappears around the corner. Just be careful. She returns to her cart without another word. Her hands are shaking slightly. Across the street, Jamal Reeves arranges fruit on his wooden stand. 28 black, he keeps his head down whenever police cars pass. He never makes eye contact with badges, and there is Clarence Whitaker, 71 years old, black Korean War veteran with faded tattoos on his forearms. His pretzel cart has occupied this corner for 34 years. His hands tremble when he counts change now, and not just from age. Clarence catches Darius's eye and waves. A small gesture between 2 black men on a street corner, acknowledging each other's existence in a city that often pretends they do not exist at all. Darius waves back. The morning passes quietly. Sales are decent. A few regulars are learning his name. Tourists who do not tip. A businessman who orders 2 dogs and checks his phone between every bite. Nothing unusual. Rosa stops by again. She presses a weathered hand to her chest. My heart isn't what it used to be, she says. Doctor wants me to retire, but who retires from a taco cart? Darius smiles. You'll outlive us all, Rosa. She laughs, but it does not reach her eyes. Something heavy lives behind them. Then, An unmarked Crown Victoria pulls up and parks in the no parking zone directly in front of Darius's cart. The engine idles for a moment, then cuts off. Rosa sees it first. Warmth drains from her face, like water through open fingers. She turns her back and pretends to organize her supplies. Jamal suddenly finds his shoelaces fascinating. Clarence Whitaker stares straight ahead at nothing, jaw tight, hands trembling worse than before. The driver's door opens with a heavy click. A man steps out. White, mid-40s, uniform, pressed sharp, badge gleaming, hand resting on his citation book like it is a weapon. He does not hurry. He walks like he owns every inch of this street, and Darius Holloway's careful day is about to end. Sergeant Harlan Voss crosses the street like he has all the time in the world. 44 years old, 18 years on the Hartfield Police Department, white, with a face that looks like it has never smiled at anything. It did not hurt first. His boots hit the pavement with the weight of a man who has never been questioned. He stops at Darius's cart. Too close. Inside the space where customers stand. Inside the space where strangers do not belong. You're new. Not a question, a statement. Darius keeps his hands visible on the cart. Started not long ago, sir. Voss's eyes move slowly across the permits posted on the side. Health inspection sticker, business license. He studies each one like he is looking for a reason to tear them down. Nice little setup. His voice is flat. You know how things work around here yet? I sell hot dogs. People pay. That is how it works. Voss smiles, cold and empty. That is part of it. But there's another part nobody tells you about. A licensing fee. $300 a month. Cash keeps everything running smooth. Darius's expression does not change. 300. And what does that cover exactly? Voss tilts his head, studying Darius like a cat studies a mouse. Covers a lot of things. Health inspections that do not find problems. Permits that do not get lost. Parking enforcement that does not notice your cart blocking the sidewalk. He steps closer, close enough that Darius can smell the coffee on his breath. And for people like you, it covers the questions that do not get asked. Immigration checks that do not happen. Background investigations that do not dig too deep. I was born in El Paso, 4th-generation American. Sure you were, boy. Voss shrugs. They all say that, right up until the paperwork gets lost. He lets the threat hang in the air. 300, do not make me come looking for you, because if I have to come looking, the price goes up, and if I have to come looking twice, he leans in close. People who make me come looking twice end up in the hospital, or worse. You understand what I'm saying to you? Darius reaches into his cash box. His hands shake slightly, just enough for Voss to see and feel satisfied. He counts out the bills and offers them. Voss snatches the money without counting it, folds the bills and slides them into his pocket like they were always his. Good boy. He pats Darius's cheek hard. Maybe you can be trained after all, like a dog. He turns to leave, then stops. One more thing. The other vendors, Rosa, old Clarence, the kid with the fruit, they have been here a while. They know how things work. They keep their heads down and their mouths shut. His eyes lock onto Darius's. Do not go making friends. Do not go asking questions. Do not go thinking you are something you are not. Just sell your hot dogs, pay your fee, and everything stays peaceful. Understood? He walks back to the Crown Victoria, gets in, and drives away without looking back. Darius watches until the car disappears. Rosa is still pretending to organize her cart. Jamal is still examining his shoes. Clarence stares at nothing, his jaw tight. Nobody speaks. The silence hangs heavier than the summer heat. Darius touches something under his apron, a small device the size of a button. A tiny red light blinks once. Still recording. Every word captured. $300 gone. Taken by a man with a badge who did not even pretend to hide what he was doing. But something else was gained. Something Voss does not know about. Voss will come again. Darius is building a case, and Voss has just handed him the first piece. The Texas sun beats down without mercy. Heat rises from the pavement in visible waves. Darius stands at his cart, steam rising from the warmer, sweat running down his back beneath his apron. The atmosphere on Main Street has changed. The vendors speak in whispers. They pack up earlier. They look over their shoulders more than they look at customers. Voss's unmarked Crown Victoria appears at the end of the block. But today he is not alone. 2 patrol cars follow. Officers Dwayne Briggs and Kyle Holt step out, adjusting their belts, checking their equipment. Both white, both young, both wearing expressions that say they are looking forward to whatever comes next. They do not approach Darius's cart. They walk directly toward Clarence Whitaker. The old black man sees them coming from 30 feet away. His weathered hands stop moving. His face goes pale beneath his dark skin. 71 years old, Korean War veteran, 34 years on this corner. And right now, he looks like a man who knows exactly what is coming. Voss approaches the pretzel cart. Briggs and Holt flank him. 3 white cops surrounding 1 elderly black vendor. Clarence. Voss's voice carries across the street. Everyone is meant to hear this. We need to talk about your account. Clarence's voice shakes. I have most of it, Sergeant. My wife's medication cost more this month. I will have the rest by next time. 34 years I have been here, never missed. You are short. 200, that is all. 200, please. I have never... Voss shoves him. Clarence stumbles backward. His hip catches the edge of his cart. Pretzels scatter across the sidewalk. He falls hard, his back hitting concrete. Voss kicks him once in the ribs. The sound is wet and hollow. Clarence curls into a ball, trying to protect himself. 71 years old, hands over his head, blood already appearing on his face. Voss kicks him again. Rosa screams from her cart. Stop! He is an old man. Please! Voss's head snaps toward her. You want to be next? Rosa's hand flies to her chest, her heart. She backs away without another word. Tourists walk past on the opposite sidewalk. They see everything. They keep walking. They do not stop. They do not help. They do not even take out their phones. Briggs and Holt stand guard, arms crossed, smiling like this is entertainment. Darius's hands grip his cart until his knuckles ache. Every muscle screams at him to move, to intervene, to stop this. He does not move. He watches like everyone else, like a scared vendor who knows his place, because that is what the mission demands. But watching a 71-year-old black man bleed on the sidewalk while white cops laugh costs something. something you do not get back. Clarence tries to rise. Voss plants a boot on his chest and pushes him down. Stay down, boy, stay down, and think about what happens when people do not pay what they owe. Voss straightens his uniform, wipes his hands on his pants like he touched something dirty. Briggs, call it in. Medical assistance for a vendor who fell. Holt, take statements. Nobody saw anything. Both officers nod. Voss walks back to his car and drives away like nothing happened. Soon after, an ambulance arrives. Clarence is loaded onto a stretcher. Broken rib, fractured cheekbone, severe concussion. The official report will say he fell while moving boxes. That evening, the vendors close early. One by one, they disappear. Jamal stops by Darius's cart before leaving. His voice is barely a whisper. Do not. Whatever you are thinking, do not. I am not thinking anything. Good, because thinking gets black men killed around here. Jamal disappears into the fading light. Darius packs up his cart, goes back to his apartment, and sits in the dark for a long time. Then he opens his laptop, creates a folder labeled evidence, downloads the video from the first encounter with Voss taking money, and downloads the video from the assault. Clarence on the ground, blood on his white apron, Voss's boot connecting with an old man's ribs. A smart man would delete these files, move to another city, forget everything. Darius does not delete a single frame. He saves them, creates backups, opens a document and starts typing names, patterns. Clarence Whitaker is in the hospital tonight. 71 years old, veteran, 34 years on that corner, beaten in broad daylight because he was $200 short. Someone has to do something. The old man is bleeding. Darius is watching and Voss is still collecting. Time passes in careful patterns. Days, Darius sells hot dogs, smiles at customers, makes small talk about the weather, and acts like everything is normal on Main Street. Nights, he becomes someone else entirely. His apartment is small and sparse. The kitchen counter is covered with notes and photographs. The laptop casts blue light across bare walls while videos play on repeat. He studies Voss's face, the way the sergeant moves, the way he speaks, the way he pockets money without looking at it. Like collecting tribute is his birthright. This man has done this 1,000 times. He will do it 1,000 more unless someone stops him. Darius starts filming everything. His phone sits in his apron pocket, camera lens barely visible through a small hole cut with a razor blade. The record button is always ready. Voss collects from Rosa. 300. She hands it over without meeting his eyes, hands trembling, breath held until he walks away. Darius records every second. Voss collects from a woman on the next block selling homemade empanadas. She cries as she counts out the bills. Her hands shake so badly, she drops money on the ground. Voss watches her pick it up without offering to help. Darius records. Voss and Briggs make rounds together. 4 vendors in 90 minutes. Efficient, professional, like tax collectors in a kingdom of fear. Darius visits Clarence Whitaker at Hartfield General Hospital. The old man lies in a bed too large for his shrunken frame. His dark face is a landscape of purple and yellow bruises. Swelling around his eye, ribs wrapped tight. 34 years, Clarence whispers. Each word costs him effort. Never missed a payment, and this is what I get. Darius holds up his phone. Can I record this, Clarence? What happened to you? Clarence looks at the phone for a long moment, then at Darius. Why? Who is going to listen? Who cares about an old black man on a street corner? Maybe someone will. After a long silence, Clarence nods. He tells his story. The camera captures everything. The injuries, the words, the trembling voice of a veteran who served his country and got beaten for it. Outside the hospital, Darius notices a gray sedan parked across the street. He has seen it before, outside his apartment and near the corner on Main Street. He notes the license plate and keeps walking like he has not noticed. Back on Main Street, Jamal corners Darius near the storage unit. "What are you doing, man?" Jamal's voice is low and urgent. "I have seen you with your phone, always recording. You are going to get yourself killed. Someone has to do something." Jamal shakes his head hard. "That someone does not have to be you. You have not been here long. You do not know what they are capable of." "I am learning." "Then learn this too. Voss has friends. Police department, city hall, places you cannot imagine. You make noise. You disappear. A black man asking questions in this town. They will find your body in a ditch and call it a suicide." Darius says nothing. Jamal walks away without looking back. That night, Darius reviews his footage. 6 collections, 3 witness statements, hospital records, timestamps, badge numbers, enough to go to the police. But which police? Voss is the police. His supervisor protects him. Internal affairs investigated twice before. Found nothing both times. The system is not broken. The system is working exactly as designed. Darius needs more. Something definitive. Voss saying exactly what this is on tape. Explicit words that cannot be explained away. The gray sedan appears again, parked 50 feet from Darius's apartment. No attempt to hide anymore. Someone is watching the watcher. He goes to his cart anyway. He sets up like normal. He waits. Voss arrives. Darius pays $300. He keeps his hand steady. He keeps his phone recording. Voss pockets the money, same as always. "Good boy, you are learning." He leaves. Another recording, another piece of the puzzle. But it is not enough. Not yet. And time is running out because somewhere in the department someone is reviewing footage, noticing a vendor who stands too still, watches too closely, asks too many questions. Voss feels it too. Something is off. Someone is watching him. Darius is building a case, but Voss is building a list. And Darius's name is about to be on it. The atmosphere on Main Street has changed completely. Voss's visits are different now. He is not just collecting money anymore. He is hunting. He stands at each cart longer than necessary. He studies faces with uncomfortable intensity. He asks questions that have nothing to do with permits or fees. "Anyone been talking to reporters lately?" The empanada vendor shakes her head frantically, eyes fixed on the ground. "No, sir, nobody." "Anyone asking questions? Police from other districts, federal types, anyone who does not belong?" "No, sir, nothing like that. I just make food." Voss nods slowly, filing her answers away for later. His eyes sweep the street like searchlights. He moves to Rosa's cart. "You have been here longest, Rosa, 11 years. You see everything that happens on this street." Rosa keeps her eyes on her taco shells. Her hands will not stop moving. I make tacos, Sergeant. That is all I see. Voss leans close. His voice drops to something private and threatening. Someone has been asking questions, taking pictures. Someone on this street thinks they are smarter than me. Rosa does not breathe. If I find out you know something and did not tell me, your little taco cart becomes a crime scene. Your grandchildren grow up wondering what happened to Abuela. I do not know anything, Sergeant. I swear. Voss studies her face, then pulls back with a smile that holds no warmth. We will see. He walks away, but not before muttering to Briggs, loud enough for Darius to catch fragments carried on the still air. Someone is playing a bigger game. I can feel it. Find out who. That night, Jamal Reeves's fruit cart is destroyed. Darius sees the aftermath the next morning. Wheels slashed deep, produce scattered across the sidewalk like casualties. Snitch, spray painted on the side in angry red letters that drip like blood. Jamal stands in front of the wreckage. His dark face is blank with shock. Darius helps him clean up, picks crushed apples off dirty concrete, throws rotting bananas into trash bags. I did not say anything, Jamal says, voice hollow. I swear I did not talk to anyone. Why would they do this to me? It is not about what you did. Darius tosses another ruined apple. It is about what Voss is afraid of. He knows someone is watching. He does not know who, so he sends a message to everyone. Is it working? Darius does not answer that question. The police report is filed. Officer Kyle Holt takes Jamal's statement with visible boredom. The investigation goes nowhere. No suspects, no witnesses, no justice. Just another black vendor's property destroyed. Nothing to see here. The next morning, Voss returns to Main Street. But he is not collecting today. He is just present, standing on the corner for hours, watching. His eyes land on Darius more than anyone else. Darius feels the weight of that stare every time. The calculation behind it, the suspicion building. He keeps selling hot dogs, keeps his face neutral, keeps his hands steady. But he knows Voss is narrowing the list, eliminating suspects one by one. Soon there will only be one name left. That evening, Darius backs up his files to 3 different cloud services, creates redundancies, builds fail-safes. He sends one email to an address he has never used before. Subject line, insurance. If something happens to me, release everything. The gray sedan appears again that night, parked directly across from Darius's apartment building. No attempt to hide anymore. A message written in steel and glass. We see you. Darius closes his blinds, checks his locks, triple checks his backups. The Texas sun beats down again. Darius wheels his cart to Main Street and sets up on his corner. Rosa is there, looking older than before. Tired. Her hand keeps drifting to her chest. Jamal's corner is empty. He has not come back since the vandalism. Clarence is still in the hospital. The street feels smaller now, quieter, emptier. Voss's Crown Victoria appears. But today is different. Voss does not get out immediately. He sits behind the wheel watching, phone pressed to his ear. Conversation Darius cannot hear. Then Voss smiles, just slightly, and hangs up. He steps out of the car and walks toward Darius's cart. His expression is different today, more confident, like a man who just got very good news. "You have been busy," Voss says. Darius's stomach drops, but his face stays neutral. "I do not know what you mean, sir." "Sure you do." Voss leans against the cart, casual, comfortable. "Someone has been talking to reporters, visiting hospitals, building a little collection of videos and documents." He pauses, letting each word land. "That someone is going to wish they had just sold hot dogs and kept their black mouth shut." He straightens up, brushes invisible dust off his uniform. "Have a nice weekend, boy." Voss walks back to his car, gets in, and drives away. He did not collect today. That is worse. Much worse. If you have ever wondered what happens when a black man tries to fight back against a corrupt system, this story is just getting started and everything is about to change. One night, Darius leaves his apartment through the back exit, hoodie up, head down, moving fast through shadows. He is going to meet someone. A contact who reached out through encrypted channels, claims to have inside information about Voss's boss, and claims to know who is really running the protection racket. The meeting point is an empty parking lot near the industrial district. Quiet, private, away from prying eyes. Safe, or so Darius thinks. He arrives. The lot is dark. One streetlight flickers overhead, buzzing with dying electricity. No other cars visible. He waits, checks the shadows. Headlights appear at the far end of the lot. A vehicle approaching slowly. It is a van, white, unmarked, no plates visible. That is wrong. Every instinct Darius has screams at once. Every alarm fires. He turns to run. He does not make it 3 steps. The side door of the van slides open with a metal screech. 2 men leap out before it stops moving. Briggs and Holt are running. Briggs tackles Darius from behind. Full force. Face hits pavement. Air explodes from his lungs. Holt kicks him in the ribs before he can recover. Once, twice. Sharp, precise blows, designed to incapacitate. Then a black bag over his head. World disappears. Zip ties bite into his wrists. They drag him across asphalt and into the van. Doors slam. Engine revs. Van moves. Darius counts seconds in his head. Tries to track turns despite the pain. Left. Long straightaway. Right. Another long stretch. 20 minutes. Maybe 25. The van stops. Doors open. Rough hands drag him out into cool night air. Concrete under his feet. The smell of rust and motor oil. Water dripping somewhere in the darkness. They shove him into a chair. Hard metal. Cold against his back. The bag comes off. Darius blinks. Forces his eyes to adjust to dim light. A warehouse. Industrial. Abandoned. No windows. One visible door. Exposed pipes. Puddles of water on cracked concrete. And standing in front of him, arms crossed, expression almost bored. Sergeant Harlan Voss. "You have been asking a lot of questions, boy." Darius's lip is split from the fall. Blood drips onto his apron. His dark skin is already starting to swell where Holt's boot connected. "I am just a hot dog vendor." Voss laughs. The sound echoes off distant walls, hollow and cold. Hot dog vendors do not take pictures of police cars, do not record conversations, do not visit beaten old men in hospitals and ask them to tell their stories on camera. He holds up Darius's phone. The evidence folder is open on the screen. You have been very busy for just a hot dog vendor. Darius says nothing. He keeps his breathing steady. Voss circles the chair. Slow, deliberate, predator, examining prey. Who sent you? Reporter looking for a story? FBI getting creative? Who? Nobody sent me. I saw what you did to Clarence Whitaker. I wanted to document. Voss hits him. Open palm hard enough to snap his head sideways. Do not lie to me, boy. Who sent you? Nobody sent me. Another hit. Another closed fist this time. Stars explode behind Darius's eyes. Who are you working for? Darius spits blood onto concrete, looks up with eyes that do not waver. I am just a vendor who watched you beat a 71-year-old man because he was $200 short. Voss stops circling. He studies Darius's face, looking for the crack, looking for the lie. He does not find it. Voss turns to Briggs. What do you think? Briggs shrugs his heavy shoulders. Could be telling the truth. Concerned citizen in over his head. Some people are stupid like that. Or he could be something else. Voss kneels down eye level with Darius, close enough that Darius can see the broken blood vessels in his eyes. Here is my problem. If you are just a vendor playing hero, I can make you disappear tonight and nobody will care. Another dead black man in Texas. Happens all the time. Nobody asks questions. He stands. But if you are connected to something bigger, FBI, DOJ, marshals, then making you disappear creates more problems than it solves. He paces for a moment, thinking. So here is what is going to happen. You are going to leave Hartfield tonight. Never come back. Delete everything you collected. Forget this city exists. He leans close to Darius's ear. Or I find out the hard way what you really are. And that conversation will not be as friendly as this one. Darius looks up, blood running down his chin, staining his shirt. And if I choose neither, Voss smiles, then we find out together. He nods to Briggs and Holt. The beating lasts 12 minutes. Ribs, kidneys, face. They are careful. Nothing that will kill. Nothing that will leave permanent damage. Just enough pain to send a message that will last a lifetime. When it is over, Darius can barely breathe, can barely see, can barely think. Voss stands over him. Leave tonight or do not leave at all. Bag over his head, van moving. Dirt road. They dump him on a roadside outside city limits. They leave him in the dirt like garbage. Darius lies there, stares at spinning stars, tries to remember how to breathe. He is alive, more than he expected. Slowly, painfully, he reaches into his shoe. His backup phone is still there, hidden compartment. They did not find it. He types one message with broken fingers. Cover intact, moving to phase 2. He sends it, then lies back down in the dirt. The stars keep spinning overhead. He survived the night. But someone else will not survive the weekend, and gray light filters through dirty windows. Darius should be gone. Voss told him to leave Hartfield and never return. Briggs and Holt made certain he understood the consequences, but Darius is still here. Different apartment across town, different name on the mailbox, burner phone. Cash only. His ribs are taped tight beneath his shirt. His face is a canvas of purple and yellow bruises. It hurts to breathe. It hurts to move. It hurts to exist. But he is still here because this is not over. Meanwhile, on Main Street, Voss visits Rosa's taco cart. He knows she talked to Clarence in the hospital. He knows she was friendly with the black vendor who disappeared. He knows she might know something. Where is he? Rosa, your friend with the hot dogs. Rosa keeps her eyes on her work, hands moving automatically. I do not know, Sergeant. He left just like you told him to. Voss does not believe her. He leans close, his shadow falling across her cart. If I find out you helped him, if I find out you know where he is and you did not tell me, I will not just shut down your little cart. He pauses, lets the silence build. I will make sure your children never see you again. Your grandchildren will grow up wondering why Abuela disappeared. Rosa's hand flies to her chest. Her heart is racing. She can feel it pounding against her ribs. My heart, Sergeant, please. I have a condition. Voss straightens up. No sympathy in his eyes. None at all. Then you better hope your heart can handle what comes next, if you are lying to me. He walks away without looking back. Rosa sits down heavily on her stool, tries to breathe, tries to slow her racing heart. Her hands will not stop shaking. Her chest feels tight. Too tight. She closes her cart early and goes home. That evening she calls her daughter in San Antonio. Mija, I just wanted to tell you something. I love you and your brothers and all the grandchildren. I want you to know that. Mama, what is wrong? Is everything okay? Everything is fine, Mija. I just wanted you to hear me say it. That is all. Rosa goes to bed early. Her heart is still racing. It has not stopped racing since Voss left. The medication is not helping. She dreams of her taco cart, of sunshine on Main Street, of her children when they were young, of her husband gone 15 years now, of a corner in downtown Hartfield where she spent 11 years making food for strangers who became friends. At some point in the night, Rosa Delgado, 62 years old, dies in her sleep. Cardiac arrest. Her heart finally gave out. The years of fear, the constant stress, Voss's threats. It all accumulated into one final fatal beat. Her neighbor finds her the next morning. The news spreads through Main Street within hours. Rosa is gone. Jamal calls Darius on the burner phone. Rosa is dead. Her heart. They are saying natural causes. Darius hangs up, sits in silence for a long time. Natural causes. Rosa had a heart condition. Everyone knew that, but she did not die of old age. She did not die of disease. She died because Voss terrorized her until her heart could not take anymore. He killed her without leaving a single mark. Darius looks at photos on his phone. Rosa handing him coffee on his first day. Rosa laughing at his jokes. Rosa warning him to be careful. Be careful around here. She was right. And now she is gone. This was supposed to be an investigation. Evidence gathering, a case file. Now it is personal. Darius makes one call. a number he has been saving for emergencies. It is time. Phase 2, tomorrow morning. You know where. Rosa Delgado is dead, and the man who killed her has no idea what is coming. He survived the night, but Rosa did not survive the weekend. And everything you think you know about this story is about to change forever. FBI Field Office, Houston, Texas. A man walks through security, black, late 30s, face covered in fading bruises, moving stiffly. Cracked ribs will do that. But he walks through this building like he owns it. The security guard looks up, sees the face, nods with recognition. Morning, deputy. Rough weekend. Something like that. Elevator to the 4th floor. Conference room C, secure line. Lieutenant Grant Whitmore is already waiting. 15 years with the federal task force. Gray hair, calm eyes that have seen everything. The bruised man sits down, reaches into his jacket, pulls out a badge, and places it on the table. Deputy U.S. Marshal Darius Holloway, Public Corruption Unit. 18 months, Darius says. We finally have enough. Whitmore leans forward. Walk me through it. Voss has been running a protection racket on downtown Hartfield for at least 3 years. 14 vendors minimum, 300 to 500 each monthly, over 50,000 a year off the books. He slides a folder across the table. Bank records show Voss deposited 50 to 300 in cash over 18 months. Small amounts, different branches, classic structuring pattern. Another folder. Cell tower data puts his phone at every collection site. Timestamps match witness statements perfectly. Every collection like clockwork. Another folder. Body camera footage from 3 federal recording devices, including the one Darius wore in his apron for 18 months. We have him on tape, making explicit demands, taking money, threatening vendors. Whitmore flips through the evidence. His expression stays neutral, professional. And the assault on you? The warehouse, 12 minutes. Darius touches his ribs. The backup device in my shoe. They did not find it. That is assault on a federal officer. Yes, it is. Whitmore sets down the folders, looks directly at Darius. And Rosa Delgado. Darius's jaw tightens. Died of cardiac arrest. Voss threatened her the day before. Told her he would make sure her children never saw her again. That is not technically murder. No, but it is coercion contributing to death. And it goes on the file. Silence fills the room. Whitmore studies Darius for a long moment. 18 months undercover. You got beaten nearly to death, and an innocent woman died. Yes. Was it worth it? Darius does not answer immediately. He thinks about Rosa's coffee, her laugh, her warning. Rosa Delgado was 62 years old, 11 years on that corner. 3 children, 4 grandchildren, brave enough to stand up when everyone else looked away. He pauses. Voss killed her, and he is going to answer for it. Whitmore nods slowly. Then let us end this. But his expression changes. Something darker enters his eyes. There is a problem. What problem? Voss knew you were coming. Every time we moved, he moved first. When we planned to approach Rosa as a witness, he got there first. When you set up the meeting, he had a van waiting. Darius feels ice forming in his stomach. Someone on our side has been feeding him information. Whitmore nods grimly. We have a mole and we need to find him before we make our final move. Darius and Whitmore spend the next hours reviewing everything. Every operation, every leak, every moment when Voss seemed to know what was coming before it arrived. The pattern emerges like a photograph in developer solution, slowly at first, then all at once. We finalized plans to approach Rosa as a cooperating witness. 48 hours later, Voss shows up at her cart with specific threats. Whitmore nods. Who knew about that plan? You, me, the Assistant U.S. Attorney, and the task force surveillance team. We set up financial monitoring on Voss's bank accounts. 3 days later, he switches to cash deposits at branches 40 miles outside his normal pattern. Same people had access. Same people. The meeting that became an ambush. Darius stares at the board, names, dates, connections drawn in red string like a conspiracy theory come to life. Who assigned surveillance that night? Whitmore pulls the operational logs, flips through pages. One name appears with disturbing consistency on every critical surveillance shift, on every operation that leaked, on every moment when Voss was one step ahead. Special Agent Victor Cole. 14 years FBI assigned to the Hartfield Task Force 6 months ago. Excellent record, no complaints, no red flags, perfect cover. Whitmore pulls Cole's financial records. 8,000 in unexplained cash deposits over 6 months. Same structuring pattern as Voss. Voss was not just bribing vendors, Darius says quietly. He was bribing the people investigating him. Whitmore's face turns to stone. Cole has access to everything, every witness name, every evidence file, every move we planned for 6 months. Does he know? We know. Not yet. Darius stands, walks to the window. Houston sprawls below. Millions of lives. Then we use it. How? Feed Cole false information. Tell him the investigation is closing. Resources reallocated. Hartfield moving to another jurisdiction. Voss hears that. He relaxes. Voss hears that. He gets careless, makes mistakes. Darius turns from the window. And I walk back onto Main Street. Whitmore shakes his head. He will try to kill you this time. This time I will not be alone. FBI in plain clothes at every corner. Surveillance van. Arrest team standing by. And if Cole tips him off, then Cole goes down too. Either way, this ends. Whitmore is silent for a long moment. There is a time limit. Rebecca Torres at the Tribune is about to publish 8 months of investigation. Once that story hits, Voss disappears. He has contingency plans. How long? 48 hours, maybe less. Darius checks his watch. Then we move in 48 hours. He walks toward the door. Darius. He stops. Whitmore's voice is quiet. Rosa died because someone in this building sold her out. Do not forget that. I will not. And do not die trying to make it right. Darius does not answer. He just walks out. The mole has a name. The mole has has. The clock is ticking. And Voss has no idea that the dead black vendor is about to walk back onto Main Street. Main Street. The sun hangs high. Sidewalks bustle with the lunch crowd. Vendors set up carts like any other day. But nothing about today is normal. FBI agents in plain clothes at every corner. A woman eating tacos near Rosa's old spot. A man reading a newspaper on a bench. A couple taking photographs of architecture they could not care less about. Surveillance van 2 blocks north. Unmarked tinted windows. Arrest teams in vehicles on adjacent streets. Engines running, ready to move. And at the corner of Main and 5th, a hot dog cart. Same cart. Same steam rising. Same smell of grilled onions. The vendor looks up. It is Darius. Same apron. Face still bruised. Moving stiffly but standing alive. Present. Word spreads fast. The vendors see him first. Jamal freezes mid-transaction and stares. The empanada woman crosses herself. The black hot dog vendor is back. The one Voss said would disappear. The one everyone thought was dead. Voss hears within the hour. His reaction is immediate, volcanic. He drives to Main Street, parks in the no parking zone, same spot as always, walks toward Darius's cart with murder in his eyes. Darius watches him approach, hands visible on the cart, steady. Voss stops 3 feet away, close enough to smell his rage. You should be dead or gone. Why are you here? Darius's voice is calm. I am here because Rosa Delgado cannot be. Something flickers across Voss's face. The old woman had a heart attack. Natural causes. Nothing to do with me. You terrorized her until her heart gave out. You threatened her children. You killed her without leaving a mark. Voss steps closer. His hand drifts toward his weapon. You have 3 seconds to get in your car and drive away, or the warehouse becomes a fond memory. Darius does not move. Or what? You will beat me again? Like you beat Clarence Whitaker? Like you threatened Rosa? Like you have been doing to every vendor on this street for 3 years? Voss's fingers close around his gun. Last chance, boy. Darius meets his eyes. Sergeant Harlan Voss, you are under arrest for extortion, conspiracy, and assault on a federal officer. You have the right to remain silent. Voss laughs, harsh, disbelieving. You are a hot dog vendor. You cannot arrest anyone. Darius reaches into his apron, pulls out a badge, holds it up where the sun catches the metal. Deputy U.S. Marshal, Public Corruption Unit. I have been recording you for 18 months. The color drains from Voss's face. The realization hits him like a physical blow. Everything, every collection, every threat, every demand recorded. No. His voice is barely a whisper. That is not possible. It is very possible. And it is over. Voss's hand tightens on his weapon. If I am going down, you are coming with me. I would not do that. Voss looks around. For the first time, he actually sees the agents, the surveillance positions, the trap that has been closing for 18 months. Briggs and Holt are already face down on the pavement 50 feet away, cuffed, surrounded by agents. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Voss draws his weapon anyway. Darius is faster. 2 shots crack through the summer air, neither from Voss's gun. Voss hits the pavement hard. His weapon skids across concrete. Agents swarm from every direction. They cuff him face down on Main Street, the same street he ruled for years. The same street where he beat an old man for being $200 short. You are dead. Voss spits into the concrete. You are all dead. You have no idea who I know. Darius stands over him. Rosa Delgado was 62 years old, 11 years on that corner. 3 children, 4 grandchildren. Brave enough to give me coffee on my first day. He leans down close. And you killed her. Voss is loaded into a federal vehicle. Darius watches until it turns the corner and disappears. Then he looks at Rosa's empty cart. The spot where she stood for 11 years, where she warned him to be careful, where she handed him coffee without asking if he wanted it. The cart is dark now. Nobody will stand there today. Justice, finally. But it came too late for her. Grand jury indictment. United States versus Harlan R. Voss. Case number 424 CR0000892. Charges: 3 counts. Hobbs Act extortion, 1 count conspiracy, 1 count assault on a federal officer. Maximum sentence 45 years. Co-defendants: Officers Dwayne Briggs, Kyle Holt, Special Agent Victor Cole, Deputy Chief Leland Vance, suspended pending investigation. Inspector Gerald Nolan, arrested on state charges. Through his attorney, Voss maintains innocence. These charges represent federal overreach targeting dedicated law enforcement officers. The union stands behind him. They always do. Rebecca Torres's article goes national. 18 months of terror on Main Street. 2 million readers in the first week. City Council announces independent review of downtown patrol unit. Task forces formed. Reforms promised. Whether they happen remains to be seen. Clarence Whitaker leaves the hospital after a period of recovery. He returns to his pretzel cart. He is slower now. His hands shake more than before. But he is there every morning. Same corner for 34 years. Jamal Reeves rebuilds. New cart donated by the vendor community. Back in business soon after. Rosa's family holds a memorial at her taco cart location. Flowers for weeks. 3 children speak about their mother. 4 grandchildren place roses on the spot where she stood for 11 years. Darius attends, stands in the back, does not speak. Afterward, alone, he visits her grave. I should have moved faster. Rosa should have ended it before he got to you. He places a single white flower on the headstone, stands in silence as the sun sets. Back at the marshal's office, 2 photographs hang on his wall. His brother Kendrick Holloway, killed by police some years ago, and Rosa Delgado. Whitmore stops by his desk. You did everything you could. Darius stares at the photographs. I did everything I was supposed to do. That is not the same thing, and the badge does not make you untouchable, does? It makes you accountable. But accountability always has a price. And sometimes the people who pay that price are not the ones who should. If this story reminded you that justice matters, and that it costs something, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories where the truth comes out even when it hurts.